Hello students, hope you all are doing well. Now let's start with the moments, chapter number 4, which is from the book Moments. The chapter is In the Kingdoms of Fools, which is a folktale by A.K. Ramanujan. It is a Kannada folktale, a well known folktale where it is believed that fools are so dangerous that only very wise people can manage them. Who are fools in the story? What happens to them? So let's see. And it is truly said that the fools are only managed, tackled by the wise, smart and talented people who knows the various tricks and techniques to tackle them. Now, what's the story? Let's go through the story. In the kingdoms of fools, both the king and the minister were idiots. Idiots means they were dumb, they were totally idiot. They didn't want to run the things like other kings. So they decided to change night into day and day into night. Now, what they have decided? They have decided totally different. As if in the normal life, what we are doing? We sleep in the night hours and we work in the daytime. But what they want to do, that they have decided that they will change night into day, right? That it means that they will work in the night hours and they will sleep in the daytime, that is vice versa. They ordered that everyone should be awake at night till their fields and they run their business only after dark and go to bed as soon as the sun came up. Did you get it? That they want to do the work which we are doing in the daytime, they want that to be done in the night time. They should run their business only after dark, only after the evening time, that is the night time. Only they are supposed to do their work. That was the order given by the king. Anyone who disobeyed would punish with death. Obviously, now that if the death punishment have been announced, it has been ordered by the king, so nobody is going to break the rule. So they are supposed to follow the king's order. The people did as they were told for fear of death. As they were afraid, they were scared of death, so they followed as the king had ordered. The king and the minister were delighted. Now, delighted means they were happy. Okay, delighted at the success of their project. Who were happy? No subjects, no people, only the king and the ministers who just love to follow or love to just do the buttering to the king, as if they will get the benefits after buttering to the king. So they were happy on the success of their project. One day, a guru and his disciple arrived in the city. It was beautiful city. Okay, now one day a guru and his disciple, they entered into the city. It was beautiful city. It was broad daylight, but there was no one about. Now, obviously, if anyone arrives in our city, they will be happy or they will see crowd, the people, they were working. But what was there? There were no one in the city. It was a beautiful city, but it was totally calm. Everyone was asleep. Not a mouse stirring, not even a single mouse was moving. Stirring means moving here and there. Nobody was there, nobody was roaming. Even the cattle had been taught. Taught means the past tense of teach. The past tense of teach, that is, they were taught. Cattle, that is, animals. Animals were also taught to sleep. By day, the two strangers were amazed by what they saw around them and wondered. Here, wondered means surprise. right? They were wandered around town till evening, when suddenly the whole city was calm and quiet. They were wandered, they were shocked, they were roaming here and there, right? As the king had ordered his subjects, his pupils, to sleep during the daytime. Even the animals were taught the same. Nobody was supposed to be awake in the daytime, they were supposed to sleep. Now the two men were hungry. Now that the shops were open, they went to buy some groceries. To their astonishment means they were shocked. They found that everything cost the same, a single dudu. Obviously, when you are going in the market, you are going to ask the price of that things. So now they all, when they entered in the city, and it was quite shocking. In the daytime there was no one, but in the night time when they found everything cost the same, that was single dudu. Everything, for buying each and everything they have to spend only 1 penny, single dudu. Whether they bought a measure of rice or a bunch of bananas, everything was equal. Either you are getting the bananas or the measure of rice. It cost a dudu. The Guru and his disciple were delighted. They were happy to get. Obviously, when you are getting each and everything on the same price, you are going to be happy. They had never heard of anything like this. They could buy all the food they wanted for a rupee. Whatever they want, they have to spend only 1 rupee. On spending a rupee, they used to get whatever they want. And when they had cooked and eaten, the Guru realized that this was a kingdom of fools and it wouldn't be a good idea for them to stay there. This is no place for us. Let's go. Now Guru was smart. He was wise. So when he cooked whatever the food had been brought by them, purchased by them from that beautiful city, and after eating the Guru realized that this is the place of the fools, this is the kingdom of fools, and it is not a good idea to live for them for a long time, because they are the fools. They can set another order. He said to his disciple, but the disciple didn't want to leave the place. Now being a disciple was happy because he was getting each and everything whatever he want within just a dudu, within a rupee. So everything was cheap. Everything was cheaper for him. All he wanted was good and cheap food. He was a quite foodie. So whatever he want, after spending a rupee, he used to get it. Now the Guru said, now he is giving the order to the disciple that as wherever we have visited, wherever we have entered, that is the kingdom of fools, and they are all fools. This won't last very long, and you can't tell what they will do to you next. Obviously, as it is a city of fools, so you don't know what they are going to do next. You can't assume their next step. But the disciple wouldn't listen to the Guru's wisdom. He wanted to stay. The Guru finally gave up and said, as the disciple was quite firm on his decision and he wanted to stay, as he was quite foodie and he was getting whatever the food, so he wants to stay. So Guru finally gave up and he said, do what you want, I am going, and left. The disciple stayed on. ate his fill every day bananas, ghee, rice, and wheat, and grew fed like a street side scared bull. Now he had turned up a fatty bull, right? A roadside bull who is always eating and eating without thinking, because after spending a single penny he is getting lot many stuff to eat. So he have turned up into a sacred bull, just a bull which have been worshipped, which was quite healthy and hefty, right? So the fatty bull, here the sacred means a bull who have been worshipped. Okay, so now he have turned up into a worship bull who is quite healthy and heavy, a chubby kind of bull. But what was the Guru's decision? He gave up and he left. He told, I am not going to stay here for a long time. Now one bright day, a thief broke into a rich merchant's house. Now the disciple is staying there. So now one incident took place. One bright day, as the bright day, everybody is fast asleep. So a thief broke into a rich merchant's house. He had made a hole in the wall and sneaked in. And as he was carrying out his loot, the wall of the old house collapsed. It broke and it fell down on his head and killed him on the spot. As the thief who have entered into that rich merchant's house, as he went for robbery, what happened? That the building was old and it collapsed and the thief died on the spot. His brother ran to the king and complained. Now whose brother? The thief's brother. He went to the king and he complained, Your Highness, when my brother was pursuing his ancient trade, a wall fell on him and killed him. Now what his brother is saying, the thief's brother, he is saying that when my brother, he went into this old house and he was pursuing, he was doing his old ancient trade, the old ancient profession. When he was performing his old ancient profession, he was performing his profession. At that time, this building collapsed. So now that robbery or stealing was his profession. That his brother said. He didn't utter that for what reason he went. He just said that when my brother was trying to enter in this building, when he was trying to perform his ancient trade, at that time the building collapsed. This merchant is to be blamed. Now what is saying? This merchant is to be blamed. This merchant is to be blamed. He need to be punished. He should have built a good strong wall. You must punish the wrongdoer and compensate the family for this injustice. Now what his brother is saying, the thief's brother, he went and he is complaining to the king that the merchant, when my brother went to perform his ancient trade, at that time the building collapsed, so this rich merchant should be punished for doing wrong and our family should get the compensation, that is the money, after, as if the person dies or the family members who are depending on that person only who is doing that work, so need to compensate, need to get that amount. The king said, Justice will be done. Don't worry, and at once summoned the owner of the house. Here the summon means he called up for that owner. He gave the order to his soldiers, just go and bring that king, make him to come. So the thief's brother is complaining to the king that The rich merchant should be punished. Now, when the merchant arrived, the king questioned him, "What's your name?" Now the merchant arrived, so king is going to ask him few questions. Now the king is asking him that, "What's your name?" "Such and such, your highness." So the merchant told his name. "Were you at home when the dead man burgled your house?" Now the king is asking that, "Were you present at the house when the burglar, the thief who was trying to enter your house, were you available at that time?" "Yes, my lord. He broke in and the wall was weak." "Yes, my lord, he broke in and the wall was weak. It fell on him." The accused pleads guilty. "Your wall killed this man's brother. You have murdered a man. We have to punish you." The accused pleads guilty. Now, who is the accused? Here, at present, the accused is that rich merchant, and he is pleading, he is pleasing, he is saying that I am really sorry. He is pleading. He is trying to say sorry. Pleading means here to feel sorry for whatever the guilt. Now, your wall killed this man's brother. You have murdered a man. We have to punish you. Now, what the king is ordering, that you have killed this brothers or the burglar, so we have to punish. You have murdered him. "Lord," said this helpless merchant, "I didn't put up the wall. It's really the fault of the man who built the wall. He didn't build it right. You should punish him." "Who is that?" Now what the rich merchant is saying, "I'm not the one who should be punished. You should punish the person who have put up this wall, who built this wall. I'm not the one who need to be punished." So for at that, the king is asking, who is that who need to be punished? "My lord, this wall was built in my father's time. I know the man. He's an old man now. He lives nearby." The king sent out messengers to bring in the bricklayer who had built the wall. They brought him, tied hand and foot. "You there, did you build this man's walls in his father's time?" "Yes, my lord, I did." Now the king have sent the messengers to bring that bricklayer, that mason who have built that wall. They brought him, tied hand and foot. They have handcuffed that fellow, that old man. And now the king is asking that, "You have built this wall in the rich merchant's father's time." "Yes." Now what that mason is saying, "Yes, my lord, I did it." "What kind of a wall is this that you built?" Now what the king is saying, that what kind of wall you have built? "It has fallen on the poor man and killed him." "You have murdered him. We have to punish you by death." Now what is saying, that you have built whatever the building, the wall which you have built, it have killed one fellow, the poor man. So for that reason we are supposed to punish you, as you have not built the wall properly. So you have murdered that burglar. So we need to punish you for this reason. So till here we get it, that the king is not taking the proper decision. He listened to the thief's brother, the burglar's brother, who is asking for the compensation, and then later on he called the rich merchant for that. And then after calling to the rich merchant, to whom he called, first king came to know that It was the fault of the rich merchant as a lesson to his brother, that means Baglar's brother, and he summoned for the rich merchant. After that, he listened to his rich merchant, that the rich merchant is saying that it was built up during my father's time, and I know the person who have built up this building, that was the bricklayer, that mason who have built up this wall. So again the king sent a summon for calling that bricklayer. Okay, till here it's finished. Now we will continue in the second part. This was the part 1 where we come to know that the mason was called up by the king. Thank you. Bye bye. We'll meet in the next part.